Zachariyah, and I am here with Teryn from Preacher's Daughters. And all of you, of course, know her because, she's part of the Koloff family on the show or whatever else. But I'm here with Teryn, and I have questions that I come up with, and you guys tweeted me, so you know how it goes. Teryn, thank you so much for doing the interview with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to do this.
All right. So there, of course, you saw the questions that people tweeted. I'm going to start with some of the questions I have first.
Sure.
The first question I have is just what made you guys want to be a part of the show and then continue to be on the show?
Sure. Not to steal from my mom, but her, the way she describes it is we are there to kind of dispel this myth that Christians are perfect and Christians don't go through anything and that we have it all together, because obviously we don't, and we're dealing with everyday issues that other people are dealing with. We are just under the microscope a lot more, being the preacher's kid, being in ministry. So I think that was really important to us to let people see our faith and how we live that out, but also how we overcome issues that everybody seems to have.
Okay. All right. And is that something that made you guys want to continue to do season 2?
Yes. I mean, first season, it was great. We really loved being a part of it. We're really proud to be back for the second season. So, we'll just keep the fun going. Right. So that's kind of why we decided to sign on for another season, and we're really glad that we did.
Okay. And I mean, from what I see, just from tweets, you guys are actually like the most popular family on the show from what I see. So how does that feel?
I mean, the love and support from the fans has been incredible. I don't think we ever thought we would be on a show in the first place. And then just to see that people actually enjoy watching us, it's really humbling, and it's awesome. And we feel the love. And I mean, it's just really exciting to see that people are embracing our family. It's just, I love it. It's fun. It's been a fun ride so far.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to know what, I guess your church, is it like a non-denominational church, or what type of church do you go to? What's your faith?
My husband and I go to a non-denominational church, but all of us girls grew up in the Assembly of God church.
Okay.
So my dad was a traveling evangelist, kind of based around the Assembly of God denomination. But as we've all gotten older, we've kind of, I wouldn't say left that denomination, but just found other churches that kind of maybe suit us a little bit better. So that's, everything. We're kind of non-denominational now.
Okay. So have you, I guess around town or different places, have you ever been noticed of being on a show and they're like, oh my God?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because, people just call out your name. They'll be like, Teryn. And I'm like, who's saying that? But the funniest thing is my daughter. My daughter gets recognized a lot. And I think that she's always with me. She's my little sidekick. So just to hear people say Teryn and Salem, hi, you're from that show. And she's so funny because she's 4. So she thinks that she's only on our TV in our house. So when people are like, we've seen you on this show, she's like, wait a second, Mommy, how are they watching me on their TV? So she doesn't understand. So it's kind of funny.
All right. So I know just from personal experience, when I was growing up, I was in church all the time, Sunday, Wednesday, Tuesday, anything going on in church, I was in.
And if there's a revival, you're there even more, right?
Exactly. So did you ever experience getting burnt out, I guess, on church a little bit?
Absolutely. And that's something that I'm not, I was really scared to kind of share with people and talk about on this show, but I definitely went through a burnout phase right after high school. I think it became clear to me that I was kind of going, wait a second, my faith is not my parents. And for so long, my relationship with Jesus was kind of based on me having to be in church all of those days of the week. But I never really made it personal for me. So as I got older and out of the house and on my own, I mean, I went through that phase where I was like, I cannot go to church one more day. I just need a break for a little bit.
Right.
But it was during that time that my relationship with the Lord became so much more real to me, because I was seeking him on my own. And it didn't, I mean, my non-going to church phase didn't last that long, but I just learned a lot during that time.
Okay. So the whole issue with your mom and Colby taking Salem to church,
Yes.
I saw a lot of tweets about it. Some people were saying that it was petty for you to get mad over and all kind of stuff. And I guess I want to make sure I understand. From what I got was, it wasn't the point that they took her to church. It was the point that they didn't ask you or they didn't tell you where they were going.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to just have you clarify that for everybody.
No, and I appreciate you asking that, because I kind of wanted to clear that up too. I have no problem with my daughter being in church, and we take our daughter to church. What some of the stuff that was missing, because you film a lot, and they can't show everything that you filmed.
Right.
So I did say that she went for the first time. What I was referring to was that specific church. I really wanted to take her to that specific church because we adore that pastor, and we hadn't gone to that church yet. So it was important for us to take her. But I had no problem with my mom and Colby taking her to church. I gotta work on it, but I'm kind of one of those helicopter moms that's like always right there. I gotta know where my baby is and what's going on, and I'm working on it, and I'm totally guilty. So I just didn't know where she was. I thought she was at the zoo.
Right.
Right,
okay. So as far as, well, I do have a question someone tweeted. I don't know how they came to this conclusion, but they wanted to know if you were bitter or resentful towards your parents or your church at all.
I saw that tweet, and I kind of was like, oh, man, I hate that someone would even think that I would come across as that, because I am not bitter towards my parents at all. My parents did the best that they could with all of us, only knowing what they know.
Right.
Just, you can't get mad at them. They raised us in a loving Christian home, and, I mean, they didn't do a bad job. So, no, I'm not bitter towards my parents. I'm not necessarily bitter towards the church at all. I just think that a lot of stuff that I was taught in church was taught through so much fear and condemnation that part kind of upsets me a little bit. But like I said, kind of going on my own journey and now having a daughter of my own, these are things that I don't want her to feel and know. And I'm working hard to not. I just want her to know that Jesus is love and he loves her no matter what. And that's kind of the end of it,
All right. So another question I have is, I know that the sex before marriage issue came up last season sometime, and then also again. So I guess I should ask, what is kind of like your stance on that? Like, where do you kind of stand on that? Or
well, I think it's a personal decision for people to make on their own. Do I think teenagers are in an emotional place to be doing that? Absolutely not. Would I kill my sisters? Probably. I mean, not really, but and I would still love them no matter what. But for me, I kind of think that's your own decision and your own choice. So I don't feel like it's something that I can even comment on. It's a choice that I don't necessarily think I sought out to make. It just sort of happened. I think a lot of people get married at a really, really young age in the church just because they want to be able to do that. And I think that that's wrong.
Right.
But, I love what my mom preaches. I love her stance on abstinence. And I would stand behind her and teach that to teenagers all day long.
Okay. All right. What's something that you would want viewers to take away from watching your family on TV?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would just hope that they would see that, we're just a normal family and we love each other so much and we have issues and we're not perfect and there just happens to be a TV camera there. So you may see some really good, bad, and the ugly sides of all of us, but just know that in the end, we really do love each other, value each other, and we hope that you see Jesus in us.
All right. So did you? I don't remember if I know your dad offers to pay for college if you do a year of ministry.
Yeah.
So did you actually go do that, or did you not?
I did.
You did. Okay.
I was actually the only Koloff sister that fulfilled her 1-year commitment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was me. I won that one. So
Now I saw that your husband and the name of the company he owned just like slipped my mind.
Pro Music Academy.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about that. What's that about?
Well, my husband came off the road about a year and a half ago. He was a touring musician for 18 years. He played with DC Talk and Michael Tate and Casting Crowns. He's a drummer. And for the last 7 years, he's played with a guy named Ben Folds. And he came off the road about a year and a half ago to open up a music school, and it's called Pro Music Academy. And basically, he does Skype lessons. You can Skype in from anywhere to do your music lessons. You can come into the studio. They will go like to your house and do private lessons. But all of his teachers have played for big name musicians, so they're actual legit professional musicians. Okay. So they're able to teach, not just a lot of head knowledge, but heart knowledge, and kind of give you the ins and outs of touring life and being a successful musician. So it's awesome, and I'm going to totally plug his website, but it's promusicacademy.com if you want to check it out. And he's got really good specials, and you can buy a lesson package, and you can take lessons from Chad. I have no musical talent whatsoever, so got none.
All right. So I guess just some final thoughts.
Sure.
And things that I have, I don't know, just kind of thought of from watching the show, I guess. I know, well, for one, I want to know if you've met any of the other cast members at all.
Yes, I've met all of them, actually. We did some stuff with them in New York back in January, so we got to meet the Cassidy family and the Elliots, and we had already known the Colemans from season 1, and they are all wonderful, just really, really lovely people, and it's really, really awesome that we all got to meet before this season started and just kind of get to know each other, and we all kind of tweet back and forth and just stay in touch that way. But they're great girls, great families.
Okay, because I actually interviewed Tori.
I saw that. I watched that.
Yeah, she was so much fun to talk to. It was hilarious talking to her. So I guess, are there any kind of final thoughts that you have that you would want to share, or any maybe encouraging words to anyone who may be, looking up to you or your family as like role models or anything?
Well, it's like I said earlier, we're humbled and just like, we feel so loved. I mean, you guys and the fans have just been wonderful, and we thank you for going easy on us each week, because at the end sometimes we're like, oh no. But I mean, if I can just encourage any of you, it would be that if you are going through anything, I mean, I hope that we can give you some examples of how to work through it. And sometimes it's nasty and dirty and it's gross and it's ugly, but in the end, I mean, the Lord will always help you through it. It may not be the way that you think it's going to be, because I've experienced that a ton in my life, where I think things are going to go one way, but they go a different way, but it's always the best way. So I just hope that you guys feel loved and know that we love you, and we feel the support from you guys, and we're super, super thankful.
Well, you guys, that's my interview with Teryn. I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure you follow Teryn on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, and tune in to Preacher's Daughters every Wednesday on Lifetime. Bye, guys.
Yes.